But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white ass, need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that bygone beat. Boy, ass need to stop and ask you to drop. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, what the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new bitch. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I tell you once, won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed the up on parole because of the COVID. It feel like the host in this world that don't go together. Nowhere is gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, see the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. Like we all come together. Cause they say God so loved the world. God so loved the world, and boy, your ass need to stop and ask you. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe. Nigga, gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop and ask shit. Oh, I'm gonna step up silent for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go. I ain't taking no losses, ain't no token, but we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with you. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell her we can't keep it slave. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got you, baby mother on high. Baby pass through the fire. Ask you the prophets.
Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh thumb to my brothers, Yahweh Shemal, the thumb by Shem Yahweh Shalom, my sisters. We're the I.S.U.P.K on the commanding journey, YAHANNA. Start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, where we teach that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true Israelites of the Bible, man. We are not affiliated with no other Hebrew Israelite group, no Christian church, none of that, man. The I.S.U.P.K, we stand alone, man. We've been established since 1969, man. We've been bringing this truth out heavily, man, day in and day out. All across the globe, in orderly fashion. What you see is, above my head is the Lashawan Qadash. So it's Friday night, man. You know what time it is, man. We bring out this language, according to our ancestors, our forefathers, according to the heavens, man. So we want to get into learning our language and be able to understand what we're saying, just with so simple as saying shalom. You understand, which is that meaning peace. So it's like the things that we speak in English does not have that same, that same vibration, if I may, or that same vibe in the Hebrew, because it's been transliteration. Even though, in the Apocrypha it tells you the things that's been uttered in his own tongue have not the same vibration when they're uttered in another language. You understand? Which is that English. Grab the mic. Check. Sound low? I'm bringing closer. If you joining in, if you could give me a 1 in the chat, Baba Kashal, let me know that you can hear me. We're going to go ahead and rock this thing out, man. Young man, Kev, you got your sword? It do sound louder now. It was close. Give me the book of Genesis, chapter 14, verse 13, Baba Kashal. You understand? So what we seeing, man, and the Most High is turning up, on these nations, man, on America, man. And we see, Ukraine and Russia is in more turmoil going on day in and day out, man. The Most High is not playing with these other nations, man. So it behoove you, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man, woman, and child, to get into the school, man, to get into this body of the Commander Junior Hana, to help us thus far serve the Lord, man. You understand? We are nothing without you all. Now, you want to stay out there in the world and perish with this world, hey, so be it. But we are the priests and prophets of the Lord, and we are giving you that forewarning, man, as the Most High told us to do. Go ahead with that scripture.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 13, verse 14.
14 verse 13. Jump one more.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 14, verse 13.
Go ahead.
And there came one that had escaped and told Abraham the Hebrew.
What?
Told Abraham the Hebrew.
Abram. That's before he
Oh,
got his Hebrew name. But no sweat. It says, and there came one that had escaped and told Abram the Hebrew. You understand? So this is during the time of Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, there was during Lot would have removed himself from a different area, and they had basically the people were kind of like besieged, if I may. So they came and besieged the people or the camp that was with Lot. And somebody, from Lot's area, they came and told Abram. But I wanted you to understand this. You understand? This is the Hebrew class, the Lashawan class, and Abram was a Hebrew. You understand? See, the thing is with with our people, they want to say Abraham was Arabic or he spoke Arabic. But you see in these scriptures right here, right now, with Genesis 14 and 13, it says he was a Hebrew, man. Read it from the top one more time.
this is the book of Genesis, chapter 14, verse 13.
Go ahead.
And there came one that had escaped and told Abraham the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plain of.
Just jot that. That's the point I was getting. Give me the book of Acts, chapter 21, verse 40. So like I said, understand, if you watching them on YouTube, whatever you may have, watching on, man, understand that Abraham, after he later got his name, was a Hebrew, man. He was not Arabic. He was not what they call it, Middle Eastern, this and that. We know he was Hebrew, so that you understand he spoke Hebrew. Because one, Israelites wasn't yet as far as who they were yet. Because Jacob, that's how we start from being Israelite. Because Jacob's name was changed to Israel. So later on, when he had his 12 sons or the 12 patriarchs, then we became Israelites. But this point in time now is just talking about a Hebrew, which is one of our forefathers. You understand? Go ahead with that scripture when you get it, brother.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 21, verse 40.
Go ahead.
And when he had given him license, Paul stood on the stairs and beckoned with the hand unto the people. And when there was made a great silence, he spake unto them in the Hebrew tongue,
And
saying,
what tongue?
The Hebrew tongue,
Not the English tongue.
the Hebrew
Not
tongue,
the Greek tongue.
the Hebrew tongue.
Nah, the Lashawan Qadash tongue, man. That's what Paul spoke to them, man. You understand? Now, this is in what? This is what book this is? You know what, Kevin?
Acts.
This is the book of Acts, man. This is in the New Testament. You understand? So again, just like what the scriptures say, the things that were done for our learning, but before time was done for our learning. For whatsoever things were done for time was done for our learning. So understand this. Abraham, he was the Hebrew, he spoke Hebrew. Paul is also speaking Hebrew. So again, with the cut to these fake Israelites or these, these new Old Testament Israelites trying to discredit the New Testament, all Paul is doing is basically doing what he was, taught before, or the priests and prophets before him, man. You understand? So read that from the top again, one more time, Bible.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 21, verse 40. And when he had given him license, Paul stood on the stairs and beckoned with the hand unto the people. And when there was made a great silence, he spake unto them in the Hebrew tongue, saying,
Understand what y'all realize what's going on here, man. This is Paul speaking to his people, man. You understand? And he's speaking to them in the Hebrew tongue. You understand? So, like I said, I thought that was a while to bring out, man. Give me the book of Genesis chapter 11, verse 1. Because this is the Lashawan Qadash class. So we're just showing you different, examples of, the language being used, man. We're not just sitting here, being fools and trying to make up our own language, man. That Hebrew was actually spoke by our forefathers, the ones that came before us, and we're just mimicking exactly what they did, man. Whenever you get that, young man Kevin, go ahead and read about the show. Again, if you're just tuning in, if you could, you show me how about some of yourself record styles going on up school. One stack, one stack with it. If you could, sir, if you can hear me, give me a one in the chat, Baba Kashar.
verse 1.
Go ahead.
And the whole earth was of one language.
And the what earth?
The whole earth,
Nah, half of the earth.
whole earth,
Nah, a quarter of the earth.
whole earth
Go ahead.
was of one language and of one speech.
And the whole earth and the whole. See, and this is, it says the whole earth was of one language and one speech. So that's showing you again that, this is during the time of Nimrod. You know, when they build up the Salaki, not Nimrod. This was the time of Nimrod when they build up the tower, trying to build up to the heavens, and the Most High destroyed them. That's where the first Babel came, where it's like confusion. You understand? Which is you speak English today. That's why we call America the daughter of Babylon, because half of this English we speak or half of this language we speak is confusion. You understand? But like I said, the whole earth was one language and one speak, and that one language and one speak was Hebrew, man. You understand? Give me Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 9, Baba Kasha. Kind of new material, but not so new. A little reviewing. We gonna do some plugging and play, man, and try to form some sentences and you know
For then will I turn to the people a pure language.
For then will I turn to the people. The Most High is talking about lots of Spanish and native Indians when he said for the people. He said, for then will I turn to the people. And what?
A pure language.
Nah, a bastardized language.
A pure language.
Nah, English.
A pure language.
Go ahead.
That they may call upon the name of the Lord.
Man, I bring this out every time, man. You might say I sound like a broken record. But I want you to understand the spirit on this scripture, man. Like he said, for then will I turn to the people a pure language. That then is now. You know what I'm saying? That then is now, sis. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are speaking that pure language today, which is the Lashawan Qadash, which means holy tongue or separate tongue. You understand? These are the language that the ones in the Most High, the angels, Yahweh Shah, they speak, man. You understand? So, like he said, for them will I turn to the people, meaning blessed, Spencer, and opinions, specifically the I.S.U.P.K, because we're the main ones speaking this, Lashawan Qadash. We're not speaking the Yiddish or that bastardized language that fake Jew likes to speak. You understand? Read it from the top again, one more time, brother.
This the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 9. For then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of the Lord.
And that's what we do, man. Like my brother said, it was such a while. He said, we was just having a talk. And he was like, you're not calling on my name. You're not calling on Qadar. When you get that oil poured on your head, the first thing you say is Yabaraki Yahweh. You understand? That's calling on the Most High's name, man. We're not saying, oh God or Lord. We're saying Yabaraki Yahweh. You understand? And we asking him to bless whoever we're speaking this prayer to. You understand? So, like you said, we're calling on the Most High with His name, not by the name of what they call him in the Christian church. They call him God, but it's so many, deities or gods amongst this earth. So, which God are you really talking about? Like I brought out before, it's like you saying, God, 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 but we're talking about the Most High power. He has a name. So, if you're not speaking on His name, you're not calling upon Him. You understand? So that's like the Most High being, I can say the Most High name. We ain't gonna keep saying it, but that's like Yahweh Shah, for example. We know his name is Yahweh Shah, but if I keep saying Jesus, 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 or Joshua, like they like to say, you understand? I'm not calling on the pure name of the Most High. I'm not using that pure language. You understand? Read that from the top from here one more time, brother.
This the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 9. For then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of the Lord, to serve him with one consent.
To what?
Serve him with one consent.
Serve the Most High with one consent. You understand? And that's what. Give me. Go to Ecclesiasticus, the first chapter in the prologue. And that's what we're doing, man. We're calling on the Most High. We have that pure language. We're calling on the Most High, and we are serving Him with one consent. Man, we have one main goal, man. That's to do what thus said the Lord and bring blessed Spanish and native Indians back to the fold, man. You understand? That's why we go out every day, have our classes from 7 to 9 all across the globe. You understand? On YouTube, on Facebook, on any social media possible to reach our people. You understand? And we have a prayer that shows, that says open up the internet and the highways and the byways. You understand? So we're making sure that we feeding our people, man, with thus said the Lord, man. That food for thought. You understand? So it's like nobody across this globe is doing what the I.S.U.P.K is doing in the humanitarian house. And that's, a glorious thing because we, like I said, we stand out like a sore thumb from the way we dress, from the way that we speak, from the way that we carry ourselves, man. We are men of war, and so is the Most High. Just like we're trying to be like him, you understand? Read that from me, brother.
This the book of Ecclesiasticus in the prologue.
So it's where you're gonna go is gonna say wherefore, not the first wherefore, but the second wherefore. You know what I'm talking about? Most High correct. Do your thing.
Wherefore let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention, and to pardon us, wherein we may seem to come short of some words.
Stop right there. So he said, basically, pay attention to the things that you're reading, right? You understand? Like, just for example, if I may, like I never seen a Hebrew word for like tennis shoes. You understand? Because I'm not even sure they had tennis shoes back in the day. You understand? So it might. That's what he's kind of more so explaining to you. Pay attention to the things that's being said because some words. Go ahead. He gonna finish reading. Mikhail.
Which we have labored to interpret.
Go ahead.
For the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue
Uh-huh.
have not the same force in them.
Like what I was bringing out earlier, for the same things uttered in Hebrew, translated in another tongue, English, you understand, have not the same vibe on it. You understand? So you got to understand. That's why we tell these wacky Christians, these wacky fake Israelites, if you don't know the Hebrew, you don't actually know the breakdown of the scriptures. You understand? Because you can't just look at. Now we do. Don't get me wrong. We look at the English word, but you really got to understand. For example, right? It says in the law, thou shalt not kill, right? Now you understand if you see that, and even in the scriptures, the Most High said, "I kill and I make alive." You understand? So there's you know a conflict there. But again, if you go into that Hebrew where it says "thou shalt not kill," the actual word, the Hebrew word, I'm not gonna get the Hebrew word, but the word for it is, "thou shalt not murder" when it's transliterated from the Hebrew. You understand? So that murder and then kill is two different meanings because murder is an unrighteous kill. You understand? Basically, what what's Officer Shoulder did, George Floyd. You understand? So that's what they're talking about when it says like the same things uttered in Hebrew not going to have the same vibe on the things that's uttered in English. You understand? Most times, correct. To water for that. Well, sound like Kevin. To water for that, man, Kevin. So we gonna get into the alphabet, what we always do, man. We gonna, got some students in here, most times, Christ, man. We gonna write this thing down, and we gonna have y'all, read and tell me what they are. The translation of them. And of course, what we love all is that, that ancient. So we're gonna get into that first. And if you just viewing online, if you have any questions or anything like that, about Kashad, just type them in the chat. If I can't get it tonight, we'll come back with you next week. Lord willing, we'll have that answer for you. If you could, please, make sure it's pertaining to the Lashawan Qadash. You understand? know, man, Kevin, love to start reading it out. What's on, guys? In the hand, man. So beautiful, man, that we can, read this, man, and he don't have no notes out of, I mean, he's taking his notes, but he didn't look one time down at his notes. And that's so wild, man. Yeah. And it's so beautiful, man. Israel, man, we are a very special people, man, because even how we write our language or how we speak, man, it just goes into like our characteristics. And even, with the language that we have, they have actual characteristics of certain meanings. You understand? Like I said, like just for example, with like the ma, you understand? You can tell how Esau bastardized our language. You understand? And he took it and he made the alphabet with a lot of these languages that came before. Um, for example, like we was bringing out last week, like you got A here, B, B, G. You understand? This, right. Right. Oh God. You understand? See, that's why we understand like the scriptures is so true and so right when it says that he's a vagabond on the earth. You understand? He don't have no home. That's it. Right. That's it, sir. That's it. Like he said, what brother was talking about is right here. You know, if you was to flip that A, it look just like that. You understand, man? So like we said, man, which is so heavy, you brought that out. Cause I've got a little information, we're going through some old notes. You know what I'm saying? The thing that's good about notes, man, is like a record. As long as that record or that notes is never destroyed, man, you have something that you can always refer back to. Just like we have the scriptures. You understand? Those are our records, man. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians records, right? So I know this is why watching our top one class, man. So write this down if y'all, want to. You can write it down as well. Put it in your notes. Just some information to have, man. So biblical Hebrew started in the 10th century BC or 1000 BC, right? So we know with that, that's when, again, that's when we actually spoke the Lashawan Qadash. But now today, the modern Hebrew is, what is it? You know what I mean, Kevin? Say it, use right. Most time Christ. Right. Assyrian, what we call Yiddish. You understand? Because you'll hear these, oppressors, they speak the language and like they Especially like my boy was saying, when they say Kai, it sound like they trying to hawk a loogie, so they be ha. You understand? Like it's just terrible, man. Matter of fact, let's go to Leviticus real quick. Just let you hear like some of the things that they say, man. It's like we know, being in this school, man, that what they're saying is not right. So, for example, right, we got Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Oh, so Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, we got YAHANNA bar Yahweh, right? Now, if you see here, it's not spelled how it would be naturally spelled in the Hebrew. So let's just see what this oppressor, how he says the Most High's name.
Strong's H 3068. Yehovah. Yehovah.
Good night. What is that? That is not the Lashawan Qadash, you understand? He basically took, and you know what's so heavy? That's how you know that these fake Israelites don't know a damn thing about the Lashawan Kodash. Because what they do is they take Israel and just write a Y in front of it, and now it's Yisrael. I mean, good night. What is that? This is exactly what the oppressor just did. He said Jehovah. But if you took that Y and put a J in there, now you got Jehovah. You understand? So, like we said, man, that's why we say in the school, man, we are not the same as these other fake Israelite camps or these other people, man. You understand? We are not affiliated with none of them. That's why by this time, and we must say it every time we introduce the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? Most High in Christ. Good night. They always try to say, no, don't nobody have the 100% truth. But you obviously ain't heard the I.S.U.P.K. We got it. All right. Further moving on, it says, all right. It says Hebrew experienced a revival movement during the Zionist movement, which is also known as how the fake Jews obtained the land of Israel. Let's look up the Zionist movement. Hmm. It says Zionism. Zionism, Jewish nationalist movement that has had as its goal the creation and support of a Jewish national state in Palestine, the ancient homeland of the Jews. Hebrews, Eretz. Good night. I can't make this up, man. I cannot make this just brought this out about how these fake Israelites do this exact same thing. Look at that. What is that? Israel. Or how they say Israel. Like they doing something, spiffy or fancy with it. You understand? So like it says, reading on, it says, in support of a Jewish national state in Palestine, the ancient homeland of the Jews, Hebrew, erects Israel, the land of Israel. Though Zionism originated in Eastern and Central Europe in the later part of the 19th century, it is in many ways a continuation of the ancient attachment of the Jews and the Jewish religion to the historical region of Palestine, where one of the hills of ancient Jerusalem was called Zion. Let's see. Oh, here we go. It says in the 16th and 17th centuries, a number of messiahs. You understand? It's a scripture that says, beware of those that call themselves Christ, roughly paraphrasing, that may come in Christ's name. But it says, came forward to trying to persuade Jews to return to Palestine. The Haskalah, Jewish Enlightenment movement of the late 18th century, however, urged Jews to assimilate into Western secular culture. I mean, good night. Ain't that what we doing today? We are being westernized, man. You understand? So it sounds like they plan really work. It says in the early 19th century, interest in a return of the Jews to Palestine was kept alive, mostly by Christian millenarians. Good night. Millenarians. Good night. Despite the hostile Eastern European Jews did not assimilate, and in reaction, Tarsus pogroms formed. Good night. So you understand, just a little history, man, on everything basically, how this thing, went about. Y'all two out on the top part. A little bit more. It says, yeah, man, Kevin, when you get a chance, you go ahead and finish writing that ball. When you get a chance, give me the book of Revelation 3 and 9. Now, if you ain't finished, go ahead. You can walk. Because I was going to bring these other things out. I'm on the way out too. But I think this is again, man, the Rockefeller Highway out of SHALAM. You understand? But now, like you said, it says they did a movement to steal our identity and put themselves in power using the Bible, right? Now, Jeremiah told us in the 17th chapter, 4th verse, it says, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage, man. That heritage is one is the Lashawan Qadash, man. That heritage is one is being the black Hispanic, black Hispanics and Native Indians being Israelites today, you understand? That heritage is the land that we were supposed to inherit, for us being obedient, you understand? But again, we've inherited wickedness. We've inherited the sins of America, you understand? We've inherited the lies of America, the ways of America. You understand? Like it says, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, meaning the Most High gave us, man. And he said, I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in a land which thou knowest not. And that's for, a cut to you wacky Christians that says that, there is no enemies. Understand? Because if there was no enemies, why is it that Ukraine and Russia fighting amongst each other today? Why is it that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are dying at an alarming rate in America? You understand? What was it? 99 million Gadites that died on the way over here. 77 million. Count 99. What? So 77 million Gadites, Native and Comic-Con. On the Trail of Tears, then the 99 millions of the blacks. That's like what? Almost 160, 170 something million of our people, a whole race of people. You understand? But the Most High don't have enemies. Good night. Like it says, we're in a land thou knewest not, man. We never knew America, man. And it speaks about the North in the scriptures. You understand, which is talking about America or North America. It says, "For you have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever." Man, good night. The Most High. Did you have something? Question, sis? Okay. The Most High is, we know He's a black man. You understand? And He said, "You have kindled a fire in my anger that shall burn forever." That means He was pissed. You understand? So it's just like I said, man, these scriptures and what's going on with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man, is so true. We have so many people coming up against the things we say like it's our words. Or they try to discredit the Bible. Like I have sidebar, I had some, I don't know what he was. I think it was a Hamite, but he tried to discredit Moses. This guy said that Moses was as fake as Naruto. I don't know if y'all watch Naruto or the Kevin Hill lifted up. You understand? But Naruto is a Korean type of karate guy or something. A character, a cartoon character. So they're saying Moses is as fake as this cartoon character. You understand? But it's things that show you and prove that Moses is actually a true person or a person that actually lived amongst this earth. I mean, it's proof now because we follow the law of Moses. If it was so fake, even the law wouldn't have effect of what's going on with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians today. You understand? You got that scripture for me? Revelations 2 and go ahead. I know thy works, man. This is the Most High talking to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You right? Keep going. And tribulation, man. Tribulation is going through, different trials or going through different things, that come upon you, different obstacles. Keep going. And what? So again, if these, Israelites was the so-called Jewish man today, the Most High said, "I know thy works and tribulations and poverty." Where do you see them having poverty at? Owning oil, owning the banking systems, owning the diamond district. You understand? Keep going. But thou art what? See, that's the heritage that the Most High gave us that I brought out in Jeremiah 17:4. The heritage that we were supposed to inherit the whole earth. Even the scripture said the Most High made the world for our sakes. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? So like he said, but thou art rich. So when he said thou art rich, he's talking about the things that he promised us. You understand? And again, we know the things he promised us is not going to go void. So we're going to get out what's really respectfully ours. How they say respectfully nowadays. You understand? Keep going. The what? The what? Go ahead. The blasphemy meaning a filthy, disgusting, wicked lie. You understand? Of them that say they are Jews. But what? Is that it? Or the who? Good night. So you Jewish man, the one over there in Israel with the I ain't gonna explain it. I ain't trying to get this flagged or anything, but you fake Jews, he said he know who you are, which is again, the synagogue of Satan. Because there's only a certain amount of people today that's calling themselves Jews or Jewish. Even when we wear our shield, they be like, "Oh, well, are you Jewish?" They don't say. They see a black man wearing a shield, and they be like, "What in the world is he doing with that around his neck?" And then they ask me, "Are you Jewish?" Like sidebar again, I had a devil ask me, "Oh, well, are you Jewish? I've never seen you in our synagogues or in our temples." I never seen you coming to pray. I said, because we don't serve the same God. I just kept it at that because I was at the slave. You understand? But even so, it's far fetched to see a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, woman, and child wear the shield of David. You understand? So, like you said, but are the synagogue of Satan, man. That means the chief house of Satan, man. You understand? That's why we call the oppressor the devil the Bible speaks of. You understand? So let's finish this off, man. No sign, cause I thought that was too wild. You got the bottom part? Too wild. No sign. All right. So we already went over the top part where it says, they did a movement to steal our identity and put themselves in power using the Bible, which is again going into the Zion movement, the Zionist movement. Then it says English comes from Japhet, which is, if I'm not mistaken, Hawaiian, right? It says, but the oppressor stole it as if it was his own, which is so, crazy. I ain't gonna say crazy, but another fun fact is the true Europeans was actually the Japites. They were kicked out of that land of Europe, and then again, the oppressor, being that vagabond that he is, he came in, settled in Europe, so he became the actual European. But the native Europeans are the Japites. Just look at how that devil works, man. That oppressor, man. You understand? Like I said, English comes from Japhet, but the oppressor stole it as if it was his own. Then just another fun fact about the Yiddish, it says Yiddish is a combination of 5 Romance languages, which is French, Spanish, German, Russian, and Italian. Just think about how, Yiddish, kind of rolls off the tongue, know, or how French, like these different languages you hear, they roll off the tongue. You understand? That's why it's called that romance language. And I ain't gonna lie, I tried to speak a little Spanish at one point in time to myself. I thought that was too wild. You know, that French, yeah, eat boo woo wee wee. You know what I'm saying? Like, good night. Like, so, no time crazy. I'm gonna let y'all get that. I'm gonna let y'all get that for a little bit, and then we're gonna jump into the Assyrian and get that. And I'm gonna have somebody, you know, read that out for me. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's get into this Assyrian, right? Okay, all right. And what are these here? What are they used for? Most High Christ. I like how you say that too. The character that follow at the end of the word. Most High Christ. Yeah, give him a hand. Bro, give him a hand. Most High Christ. That's the wall, man. Most High Christ. That's the wall. That's the wall. So this is your Syrian. Just like when we read the background for this, but when we read, in our Sabbath services, this is what it looks like. So recap, right? Last week we went over the 18 nations. You understand? And we're gonna go into the 18 nations. We already know the English, so like the transliteration, and we know their Hebrew name. I'm gonna rewrite it up here, but we also gonna go into how to spell it in the ancient. So we're gonna get into that. But I'm gonna give you a few more minutes to write that down. You good? You good, yeah, man, Kel? That sounds good. Looking like a thoroughbred trooper over there, huh? Rocking that all black with the fringes. Most time correct. All right, let's get it. So we know, according to the creation or the Most High, you know, there's 18 nations amongst the earth, right? Number one, of course, is Israel. Yah, Shah, Yah, Yah. Yashar Allah. Again, one of our number one enemies. One out of 16. Esau. God's been umbrella by the sea. Well, I was saying him, because we're not an enemy of ourselves. Right. That's why I said Esau is one of the enemies out of the. Well, you're right, out of 17. You're right. I wasn't counting Esau. So right. Most of I got that right. Keep a priest on his toes. Yeah, right. And his name in Hebrew is I.S.U.P.K, not to be mistaken with Adawan, which is Lord. India is Syria, which is the captivity where we started trying to be like them, took our language and tried to make it coincide with them, or so that it can be more appealing to them. One thing I've learned with, reading these records, man, and, just going through and seeing the things that our people did, we put more of our energy on serving and pleasing these other nations instead of pleasing the Most High, man. It's like we never really understood the spirit of what being holy or what being separate is. Just like today, if you ask a Christian what the word being holy is, they're gonna tell you, oh, starting to shout on, some crazy mess, like not what thus said the Lord, you understand? But we know holy means separate or set apart. Uh, so, Astronaut spelled with two S's, is it? A-S-H-U-R. Oh, okay, not Asher like our Asher. I don't think so either. They do this series, bro. Right, I know. See, that's what I'm saying. Like they mimic us so much, man. They want to be just like like that saying is so heavy. Everybody want to be a Negro, but don't nobody want to be a Negro. Right. They want the benefits of being a Negro, but they don't want the other bad things that come with being a Negro, like walking outside not knowing that you're gonna return back to your family. You understand? Like, I want all the good things, our culture, our music, our women. You understand? I don't want the other things that come with it. Serious. All right. Oh, okay. No fun. I know I got it spelled like that in my notes, but it just didn't look right. Oh, okay. Come. Okay, come. No fun. Tomato. Right. Uh, with spelling all these different, nations, man, it gives you good practice on knowing, when you seeing, you know, the the English form of the Hebrew, and then when you or the transliteration, which is what is more so the transliteration, but seeing it written down this way, and then being able to go and write your ancient, and knowing where to put the connections at. Syria, Arab, Ishmael, yeah, Sham, Yai Shemai Allah, Yai Shemai Allah, yeah, Shemai, Chinese. One of the descendants of Lot. Lot, Lot, Shalom, sis. What's going on? Water for tuning in. And of course, the brother of the Chinese, Japanese, but it looks so much alike. I.S.U.P.K. Ooh-wee. All right. The first line to start off with. So, go ahead and finish copying it down. We got Israel again at number 1. Yasha'Allah is the ancient. Esau, number 2, out of Wam with M. Here it was spelled with the ancient out of Wam. Number 3, India, Ayalam, which would be Elam. Number 4, Assyria, Ashur, Asher, not the Israelite, the tribe of Asher, which is Asher, my beloved brother. You understand, brother, sister. But these are heathens here. Number 5, Aram. And then again, it's Aram. Number 6, the Arabs, Yashama'Allah, which is Ishmael, or Ishmael, however you say it. Number 7, the Chinese, Mawa'aba, which is Moab. The Japanese, Imawana, Ammon. The Ethiopian, Kawash, is Kush. So whenever y'all get that, let me know. Now let's get the other 18 or other 9. Oh, I thought I heard somebody say no, so I get. fact number 10. Sidebar if I may, out of one too. I was on TikTok, and this cat gonna tell me he believed that Ephraim is the tribe of Ephraim is Ghana. I said, man, what in the world is wrong with these people, man? Like, it's Ghana, out of one. I said, like, and what I always do is I challenge the people to say, where's your resources or your sources that prove, you know what I mean? Like the scripture say, prove all things, hold it which is fast. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to say something, go ahead and show me where you can find that information. But of course, this truth is undefeated, man. And I'm not saying I'm undefeated, I'm saying the truth is undefeated. It's like these people, man, they come up with these crazy things, but you don't never see them back it up with scripture or sources. Like that same dude I said that talking about Moses was fake. He gonna show me an article this oppressor woman, and she basically she was biased about it. Like I feel like it's her certain belief or something like that. She was going into all that, talking about how society started in Egypt, and I'm like, they don't understand. We fled into Egypt. You understand? Like that's what I say. And first off, she is uncredible. Common Khan, sir. You understand it? Like the lady, her name is dang, what's her name? It's Aharia or something like that. Um, Cause she called Moses a thief. The article is called "The Theft of Egypt" or "The Thief of Egypt," talking about Moses. You understand? But I'm like, and I started reading into it. And I'm just like, man. I mean, Christianity is one hell of a job, man. That's what she's trying to say. He like stole their ideas and their beliefs, their language. You understand? But again, like I said, we had our own language before we even went over there. Like, that's just, I mean, good night. On my TikTok, man, they been coming at your boy hard on that TikTok. Comic Con. My inspiration is Captain Osh, man. What? I hope I could. He was telling me. I seen one. There's some devil on there. He's saying that Esau is black. Good night. But Cat was like, so he said, well, I'm gonna challenge you. He said he gonna have him message him. If he got the, cojones or whatever to message him, he's like, he gonna tell him like, look, you message me, and then basically I'm gonna send you a string yard, and we gonna debate each other. He's like, whatever you gotta say, you say. He said, but if you don't accept my challenge, I know that you just, uh, a gangster behind the keyboard gangster. So I ain't get to check it out. I really hope I can find it. But I thought that was a while, like, all right. South Africa. Huh? No. I ain't. So, yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, the mess that they come up with, man, now this is like, you can tell that they reaching, man. This truth is really coming out, and they can't stop it, and they doing whatever they can, try to make us believe that what they saying is the truth. But now it's like, now that it's coming out, they can't stop it, man. It's like, like the scripture said, they know that they have but for a short time, man. Right. You ask Esau, what's your nationality? Oh, I'm Native American. Yeah, that lady out there, go good. That joke was crazy. I was like, I said she might have been on something, but she kept licking the top of her lip. Like, I mean, I wouldn't put it past her, man. You know, it's right. At common time, absolutely.
Somebody gotta be Esau, man.
Right,
Somebody gotta be Esau.
right.
Everybody wants to be Israel now. Somebody gotta be Esau.
That's right.
Everybody want to be Israel. Israel didn't want to be Israel. Nobody else.
For real. Now we try to be
Now we
Israel.
want to be who we are.
Right. Right. Ain't that something? Ain't that something, man? My, oh man, I'm really not. That's it. They ain't even want it. Now we got, stepping into it like, nah, we want it back now. Nah, it's too late.
Ain't nobody else.
Right.
And Lord, it's what we supposed to do.
Exactly. And here they go.
Now the whole World War III on the bring name about us from Israel.
Right. Good day. Well, they say you cannot make this stuff up. My well, the fun fact, we know Egypt means house of bondage. So during the time when we was first in Egypt, we was actually in Mizraim, which is in the Hebrew, when you see it, it'll be Martazarian. You understand? So, like the scriptures say, we will go into Egypt again with ships, meaning we would go into bondage again. So again, the place that we was actually dwelling in when we was under Pharaoh was Mizraim. This world fun fact. That good old McGar. That's some scripture, yo. Brush. are North Africans, which is Powat, which is foot. South Africans, kind of Canaan, Egyptians, Montezarian, Mizraim, Turkey or French is Gamar or Gomer. Russians, we already know, the I.S.P.K been bringing this out since forever. You understand? Which is Magog. It spoke about in Ezekiel 38th chapter. Damn right. Most High Christ out of line. So long you have I share myself right the thought of you, sir. 5 stacks in the book. You got the Greeks, which is YAHANNA, which is Javon. The Germans, the fake Jews, Ashkenaz, and it's spelled Ashkenaz with an E in the English interpretation or English transliteration. The Spanish or Spain, Tharash Yash, which is Tarshish or Tarshish, for lack of Cyprus or the Italians or Italy, Cathium or Kittim. We're going to give you a few minutes to get this down. We're going to go into prepositions with some of the, we're going to do some of the plug and play. Now next week, Lord willing, when we come back, we're going to, so I can do some more of the plug and play. But like I said, I like to kind of review throughout the beginning, go over something that we didn't get to finish, and then bring out something fairly new towards the end. So it's kind of like, how we, kind of, I guess, a domino effect, if I may, for lack of a better word. Next week, I'll get into the Lord's Prayer and actually write it down. If I wrote that down now, we wouldn't have time to get into the preposition. Y'all to wilding on everything. All right. Talking soon. Right. Most High Christ. Yeah, right. Yeah, right, sir. Most High Christ. This red, like he's trying to go faint. basically what you see, what I'm doing is I'm writing, the preposition, showing you the ancient, the Assyrian, what it means in the transliteration, and examples of what it is. So you got which is I or I am, which is parium, meaning I am fruitful. So ba, which is bara ash, or it's like bara ashat, which is Genesis, meaning in beginning or in head. So just showing you different examples. You do it for the rest of that, and the remainder of the class. Just giving you examples. When we come back next week, Lord willing, what we'll do is we'll go and do the like plugging them in and using like different phrases. You know, said, next week when we come back, I'll give more examples of the God, the I, the Y, the Yah, the Ka. Um, okay, y'all got the top part? Right. I got all this. Well, for example, like I can do the Yah real quick. All right. I can't. Yeah. So, for example, like with Yahweh Shah, right? And which is like what I've learned with, Hebrew is a lot of the words that we use are action words. If you understand, like again, like da is do, ha is the, you know, again, like Yahweh Shah, he is salvation or he saves. Because again, the Yah shows you what a he is. He, or like you said here, La Yasha'Allah, to Israel. So normally when we do, our Sabbath services or, somehow holy days where we reading the Torah, not the Torah, yeah, the Torah, and we in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter for our feast days, so like, and we go into those, we'll get the wine and we'll say, La Yasha'Allah, meaning to Israel, man. You know what I mean? It's like giving a salute to your people. You understand? Again, you got Shemayim here. It means who, which, or Shas, like meaning whom, which, that, or pertaining to. And we gave you an example of Shemayim, which is heaven, meaning pertaining to the waters. That's why they say like the firmament, when you look up to the sky, it look like the waters. So again, like I said, let y'all finish that off, man, and get the the rest of that. Lord willing, next week we'll come back and we'll, go back into this preposition. And I'm gonna take the Lord's Prayer. So, Lord willing, what I'm gonna do is go into the Lord's Prayer, write the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, write the transliteration of the Lord's Prayer, and then we're gonna take the Lord's Prayer and we're gonna do the preposition and we're gonna plug and play. What I mean by plug and play is basically going into it and we may see a word like, for example, let's see. Let's see something real quick. So Ba'aratazah, right? Ba'aratazah means in earth because the root word of Ba'aratazah is Aratazah, which means earth. So what I mean by plug and play is, for example, Aratazah would be the root word. So if I took Ha-Aratazah, what would that say, young man Kevin? With what you see here, what do you think that says? So we know Aratazah is earth. So if I say Ha-Aratazah, what am I saying? What's on the card? The earth. So again, that's basically, kind of what we're going to be doing next week when we do the plug and play. Like I said, for the Lord's Prayer is Ba'aratazah. But then we go into, and it says, Ha-Aratazah. So we changing the in earth into the earth. So just showing you how different functions of plugging in the prepositions work. You understand? So with that, we're gonna pass the class off the precinct officer of 500 Officer I.S.U.P.K for the security announcement. Man, clap it up.
We're the I.S.U.P.K, start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, can be found in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Ma'ashra means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you gets a treasury department or a teacher. Priest fund, which is a free will offering for a priest, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, we have Passover, April 15th. You understand? If you need arrangements, whether it's hotels or getting down to Passover, reach out to your camp leader as soon as possible so that you can be, put in the right position, to be successful. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that, Amajin, which means to stand. Gonna render one courtesy salute to the teacher, Mina Israel, Aman Shabbat, Amajin, Barak, Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Barakatah.
Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Barakatah.
Yamatah, which means hands down. Sorry. Turn your face to sisters stand. Gonna render one courtesy salute to the sisters, Mina Israel, Aman Shabbat, Amajin, Barak, Yahweh Shemar Bashem Yahshua. Yamatah, hands down. Class dismissed.